when I think about serve receive, my first thought is I never want to get beat by a cut serve. If I get beat wide by a cut serve, that is the worst possible outcome. The reason why is because a cut serve is complementary to every other serve. If somebody has a good cut serve, it makes getting their push or their jam tough. Right, I have to think about this. Okay, here comes the ball, it's coming down the middle of the net. Oh, it turns, all right, that's the cut. Okay, this one didn't turn, now I'm surprised and it's the jam. These two work well together. We'll talk about kind of like the evolution of serving later on in the weekend. But past that, if somebody has a great reverse, I'm sitting over here on the cut serve. Here it comes. It's going to come right to my right hand, nice and easy, just like I like it. It's the reverse. It's over there. It's far. It's hard to get to. I can't reach it. So those two serves complement each other. All right, if somebody has the great righty lefty cut mix, okay, he's going to fake to the right. I have to fight for it because he's got a great righty cut serve. Okay, he fakes to the left. I have to come all the way across. He's got a good lefty cut serve. All right, he comes back to the right. It's all the way over here, and he's got this great righty cut. I can't give up the righty cut because as soon as I give up the righty cut, his push is better. His reverse is better. His left is better. Heck, I come back to get the cut. His drop is better. Now I have to come dive and get the drop. That's a lot of weight transfer and a lot of distance to cover. You know, right here, I can come get the cut. Oh wait, this was not the cut. I have to come back. We're doing a lot of things. My first thought, take away cut serves. Nobody hits cut aces on this. That is the worst thing that happens. I mean, I've been playing Premier for a few years now. I would say 60-70% of my aces are cut serves. I don't know why people keep letting me ace with cut serves. They should never let me do that. They should stand all the way over here and stop me from letting me ace them with cut serves. Okay. So how do I stop somebody from acing me with a cut serve? I mean, there's a very easy answer. I stand here. There's clear problems with this. So, as far as my server against me.
Oh gosh.
Pressure's on.
The pressure's on. If Lara's the server against me.
Oh, you're gonna get wrecked.
That's what happened last time. I'm gonna sit there and prepare. As soon as she calls score, we'll say 0-0, fun to fun. She calls score, and my response is okay. Her feet are there. If she were to step out right, I would need to get to this spot when she hits the ball. Okay. If she were to step out left, I would need to be prepared for the left. Okay, I think I can get to the left from this spot. And if she were to hit the righty cut, I would have time to come here and be where I want to be to make the receive. Now, all of that thought processes is before I say, yes, the score was correct. Okay? So when she calls score, you should be thinking, am I in the right position? I could stand over here and say, yeah, that's the right score. And she can sit there and step out and I'm never getting there. Okay, so before we agree, yes, let's begin the point. Let's put ourselves in the best position we can. Okay, score call, and you can serve. That's reverse, okay. Now, it doesn't matter. So the point here is, what you may have noticed or you may have been watching Lara, as soon as she tosses the ball, I take my large step. The big step is not at the beginning. So she steps out and I take a small step. Because I don't know that I believe her when she steps out. She can come back to that left hand. I don't know that I believe it. As soon as she tosses the ball, I believe her. She's gonna hit it with the right hand. I trust her. There's no more room to doubt as soon as she tosses. And that's where the big step happens. And I come to this spot. Why do I want this spot? Notice my hips. My hips are not here. I'm not doing this to make the nice cut, easy receive. My hips are here. Why? This is the fun part. Yes, you're right, so I can get back. More importantly, this person has the best view. Is that you, Kuba? Yeah, it is. Okay. You see where my hand is? How much wider am I covering right now? 4 feet? 3 feet? A meter? You know, I am losing an entire meter of reach because I have stepped here. And if she hits the reverse, I mean, how do I get there? I have to turn my entire hips, both feet have to move. It's a total mess. I come to this position, I reach the cut serve. She hits the reverse, I step over, easy game. She hits the jam, it's in my body. I have plenty of time. It comes into me and no trouble. You want to hit another serve? Here we go. I'm very happy for her to attack my body with push. I don't think she's going to beat me with cut because I'm standing right about here. And as soon as I saw out of her wrist position that I thought it was reverse, you saw me take this step to the reverse. Usually I don't watch hand. There's some really deceptive people out there who will come at you with this one, and it really looks like they're going to come for that reverse, and then they just do this, and it's the big cut serve, and oh, none of that for me. Here we go. Yep. So, a lot of this is really, really quick, but I will point out a few things on where I get beat. So, bad things that happen to me when receiving. The worst possible thing, she tosses, I take my big move, and I'm still in the air. What happens if I'm still in the air and she hits reverse and I'm jumping this way? I'm not going to get there. I'm going to be off the ground and the ball is going to be over there. Then I guess the last thing would be talk about lefty-righty mix. Left-handed servers, it's going to be a lot of the faking, right? And for me, responses to fakes are not big moves. You saw the big step? That's after I see a ball tossed, right? I don't get to make a big adjustment until a ball is tossed. Everything before then is small. So can you fake left, right, like a lot of fakes? And I'm gonna kind of hyper exaggerate what my main motion looks like. Ready? So a lot of my steps look like this, where it's me falling into my foot, catching myself, and resetting. Why do I want to fall into my foot? Because it's very easy for me to stop falling and come back. And if she does hit the cut serve, I just push, and we're there. So I think this is called a chop step technically, but a lot of these steps where it's like falling into it and then coming back. You want to give me another? Here we go. A lot of falling into it. And then I took way too big of a step, and I'm sure you all saw it because I was sketched out. The one step was way too big. So, lefty, righty, lots of small steps, big power mix, one big step, one huge step. Pardon? I think we split up. I would say have a server, serve from maybe 5 feet, 6 feet, not quite the full, what, 1.7 meters, you know? 1.7 meters, something like that, maybe 1.5 meters. And I would say, you know, fake lots at the person, but only 2 or 3 seconds of fakes. So quick, get the fakes in, make them move their feet, and then watch to make sure that the hips are not facing this way when they receive. We want the hips to be facing towards that center line. They cross over to this side, hips are facing towards the center line. This is too aggressive. I'm overdoing it trying to show. This is more reasonable, you know. We're trying to be moving side to side. One thing I'll note, very hard to move forwards, very hard to move backwards, very easy to move side to side. If you watch like the sprinter, anybody in track, the very slow part of the race is this part where they start. If you watch lots of football, lots of baseball, a lot of the starts look like this. Much quicker, very easy to go to the side. Cool. Any questions? Surely there are questions. Yeah. What am I looking at? Okay, good question. So there are 3 different entry points to the net that I am concerned with. Point number 1, down the middle. Point number 2, on the left. And point number 3, on the right, all from the server's perspective. So if the ball's coming down this side of the net over here, it's gonna be a cut serve, and I need to move. If I see that ball coming down the left, I need to move to the left because it's gonna be a reverse. And if it's coming down the middle, we have a challenge because it could be anything. Usually, fortunately, the best serves, like the crazy highlight video ones, are the ones on the edges where the receiver doesn't pick up. It's an edge. It's going to be turning in that direction. Those are the highlight video serves. The ones down the middle usually don't jump that much. Some people they do, and that's a mess. But usually it's going to be a little bit more manageable. So I would say I'm looking at the net, I'm looking at the angle of the ball to the net, and I'm ready to make an adjustment based on where that ball is entering the net. Because if she's running a serve down this side of the net and it's a cut serve, I don't even have to try. I can stand here and pocket. Don't have to worry about that. I'll talk about posture briefly. Forgot to mention that. Posture is super important. We saw Tyler Chiswick come out with this posture like, I don't know, 6 years ago. Dude was way ahead, receiving like this. It was a little too aggressive. You shouldn't be quite this wide as you receive, but he had the idea kind of in this spot. Why do I want my hands kind of here together? Not necessarily touching or overlapping. I use that as a reminder, but kind of here. Why do we want this? I never want to get beat low. Somebody hits a serve that it's lower than me, and I have to go down to it. Let's say I started here. As soon as the ball is underneath my hand, I'm going down. If I get beat by speed, I literally just hit the ball into the ground. Talk about a worthless receive, right? Hitting the ball directly into the ground. Okay, let's say somebody beats me a little high and I'm here. Okay, I come up and I hit it into the air, and it's not my favorite touch, but we've got to play. So I like hands low, and I like hands in the middle. If I have my hands out, somebody hits a jam, and I have to figure out which hand is going to do the receiving. I start with my hands together. Okay, it's on the right side, I receive with the right hand. It's on the left side, we move the left hand. It's down the middle, I'm right-handed, I like to receive with the right. Pretty easy. We only have two decisions, up and out. I start here, like 10 decisions. Sometimes I go up with the right, sometimes I go down with the right, okay, and then I get crossed. It's a total mess. Much easier to start everything in the middle, two decisions, very easy. Posture is important. Any other questions? I know I got sidetracked from yours. Like where I'm looking at the serve.
Paul, wait, grab this.
So your question is not where am I looking at the serve, but where am I looking at the serve?
Yeah, in general, like before the serve, like do you look at the ball or like body posture? Or
I would say mostly
do
looking
you smile at them?
I definitely don't smile. I look kind of mean when I receive, but I would say if a server is serving, I'm generally watching their feet.
Okay.
And then I'm watching their hips, and I'm watching the ball. Follow the ball, following the hips, because if the hips turn, big indicator. If the foot lifts, big indicator. I think Thomas Hamilton's very hard to receive because if you watch him receive, he starts like this. Most people, they go to step out and they do this. Okay, he raised the right foot. He's going to take the right step. I step right. Okay, easy. Thomas. Oh my God. I'm sitting here like, oh, no, it's not that one. It's not that one. Oh, there it is. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I like to watch the feet. I like to watch the hips. And then, of course, follow the ball.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I think we should be good for drill 1. Drill session 1 is essentially, like I said, 1.5 meters, 1.7 meters. Fake them up, mix them up, make sure that the hips are turned in the correct direction. Make sure the posture looks good. I would encourage you, try this. If you've never done it and you still receive like this, mix it up. Make your game a little better today. It will feel totally foreign. You will hate the feeling the first time. It took me a good month or two before I really, got it and got the value out of it. And I had to just trust Tyler. Nobody told me to do it. I didn't understand the value. I just trusted Tyler. What an idiot I was. All right, now let's go do some drills.